This one goes out to all the haters. Hey, this is John Little, host of the Where You're Going podcast. Cannot wait. This podcast is just a few days away. June 15th is the official launch date, but a little snack cake version for you today. A little preview of the show as we talk about all the haters in our life, all the naysayers. I wrote a blog about a week ago talking about this, and I don't really understand why I see this so much on social media. People calling out the haters or the enemies in their life and thanking them for not believing in them. And that spurred them on to some kind of greatness in their life. Is it really that some people have a lot of people against them and some people have a lot of people that love them? I would submit that in most cases, that's not the case. I count it probably about 500 to 1, the people that are in my corner versus against me. And it's probably even greater than that. And we're going to find what we're looking for. If I go through social media looking for people that don't like me or that are hating on me, or if all I'm consumed with are the people in my life who are speaking against me, which again, there are not that many, then yeah, that's what I'm going to be consumed by. And I'm going to feel like the world's against me. But if I look for the people that love me, that truly want the best for me, and that speak life-giving words into me, then that's going to help spur me on. And I'd rather be motivated by positivity than negativity. Got that part? Okay, cool. But now let's talk about what if you really do have an enemy? What should we do? Well, first off, let's make sure your enemy is really an enemy. And this is what, we do when we're defining something. We look in the dictionary. Yeah, real original move by me. But an enemy is, according to the dictionary, a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. So those are the two qualifiers. Does that person in your life, are they actively opposed to you, and or are they hostile? Okay. If it's one of the two, congratulations. You have an enemy. Now, what should we do? Well, of course, we should blast them on social media. Of course, we should subtweet them. Of course, we should, talk to all our friends about them and not really, one-on-one try to figure out what to do with that person. And obviously, we should defend ourselves to the death because we are right. Right? Well, not so fast. Jesus, when he was talking, Sermon on the Mount, said, "You've heard it said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies, and pray for those who persecute you." Love your enemies. It's not even avoid your enemies because they trigger you so much, and you've just got to avoid them. Toxic people, walk the other way. No, that's not what it says. That's not what Jesus said. No, he said you should love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. I do want to make a caveat here. If there's any kind of abuse or anything like that, yeah, feel free to walk the other way. Get out of there, run, do not walk. That is not what we're talking about. But in a situation where one for one, you are able to stand up to that person, love them. You want to stop the cycle of the fight with your loved one, the fight with your coworker, the disagreement with your classmate. Here's the number one tip I can give you. Be the first one to love. Lay down your pride. Lay down your desire to be right about the situation, because it does not matter. You don't need to be vindicated. You don't need to be right. You don't need that person to know that you were on the right side of history. If that relationship is worth having, there is one way to turn it around, and that's go first and love first. Really, really simple today. I know it's not mind-blowing, but it's truth. It's what we have to do to turn those enemies into loved ones. And let's remember, in the end, There are probably far more people for us than against us. The Where You're Going podcast starts on June 15th. You can find out all the things at whereyou'regoingpod.com. And hey, if you're already listening to the show or watching the show, make sure to subscribe, make sure to rate and review. It's going to help other people find the show. And remember, it's not about where you are right now. It's not about back where you've been. It is about where you're going. The Where You're Going podcast.